everybody, and welcome to today's video. And in today's video, I will be discussing which states will be swing states in the future. It's very difficult to predict the future. Obviously I'm predicting elections, but that far into the future, it can be very, very difficult. But I will do my best based off of trends and what we have seen. By the future, this could really mean anywhere between, 15 years from now and, 40 years from now. There will definitely be some states that are almost swing states right now and could probably be swing states in, 10 years. But then there will be some that might not be swing states for, 30 or 40 years. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. Also, by the way, I uploaded really late last night. I'm uploading, really early, as of my usual upload schedule. Actually, probably not really early, but it's, recent days. I'm uploading earlier. I have soccer practice. It starts at 8:30 tomorrow, and I don't want to be dead when I go to practice. That's just a general rule of thumb. I try not to be dead in general. So yeah, I'm gonna get started labeling the swing states. First one I think is Utah. I don't have it open. I'll go quickly do that. Going to Jackson Jude, which I literally just opened. If we go look at this, we can go look at 2020 obviously, and the 2020 election results, and we can go look at Utah. Trump won it by a little over 20%. But then we go back over here and we look at this swing from Utah in the last 20 years. It swung by 20%. So in the next 15, 10, 20 years, Utah could become very, very competitive. We can go look at 2000 if we just go look at past elections. We can go look at the year 2000. Utah was a 40.5% Republican state, so it's shifted seriously to the left, and it'll likely make it was like that even in 2008 or 2012 when Mitt Romney won it by a very large margin. Obama narrowed it significantly in 2008, but before that and after that, it had been a 40% GOP state. We can just go look at the difference between. Okay, sorry, this kind of acts weird sometimes. Here we are. We can go look at the difference between 2012 and 2016. Or 2012 and 2016. Utah shifted 30% to the left in those 4 years. That's an insane. That shift is absolutely. It's just insane. I don't see another state that shifted by a safe margin to the Democrats. Yeah, I don't see one. This is weird. I don't know why that's there, what that's doing. Here it is, yeah. It's the only state that shifted. Even Texas didn't. Georgia didn't. Virginia, Arizona, all these states, they didn't shift by that margin. In fact, the only GOP states that shifted, by that much, Iowa, West Virginia, North Dakota, and I believe Maine second. So it's been shifting significantly. And it'll likely be a swing state by that point in time. The next state of Kansas, this should not really come as much of a surprise. Go look at 2020. Trump won Kansas by 14.6%, I think. And we go look at 2016. Wait, hold on, that's a 2020 Senate map. That's not fun. I'll go get 2016 out. About that, I had a 2020 Senate map up instead of a 2016 map. But once again, Trump won it by less than 15%. When as opposed to winning it by 20.5%. We can go look at the shift over here. It shifted 6% to the left, 6% in 4 years. The only states that were significant or that were close to being similar, there were obviously a few. A lot of these were up here in the Northeast. Biden did very well in the Northeast, or at least better than Trump did in 2016 because he did really well. But aside from the Northeast, the only other states that shifted by this much, Nebraska as a whole, which I find kind of strange. I would assume it's from higher turnout in the 2nd district. Yeah, because these districts shifted by less. And then Oregon, which, we already know is shifting to the left. Colorado, which Biden went by an insanely large margin. Georgia, which he flipped. Delaware, which is his home state. Maryland, which became even more of a solid blue state. It was already solid blue. And then Kansas. Kansas is up here with, I think all these states were already solid blue states with the exception of New Hampshire and Maine, and Minnesota, which were all essentially in Georgia. which we're all having like electoral implications, but or I say it, electoral weird things in elections. Like Trump performed significantly well in these states. But like Georgia, Minnesota, New Hampshire, and maybe if you want to say Colorado, these were. I mean, I guess you can throw in Maine as well. These were essentially the only states that weren't swing states that shifted. Kansas was the only safe Republican state that shifted to the left. It's or by a likely margin. Now that was insane. And I think that right now Democrats are looking good in the state. Like they have a Democratic governor. For whatever reason, the Kansas GOP likes running Chris Kobach. I think they're probably done running Chris Kobach. They're probably not like just gonna run him over and over again. That would be really dumb. But I mean like they did very well in the state. We go look at the shift. They did significantly well in a lot of these areas. Something that stands out to me, we did see a rural area shift to the right, but a lot of these areas are rural areas. When we look at a lot of these urban shifts, in Wichita, it shifted 6.2% to the left. In Shawnee County, Topeka, it shifted 5.6% to the left. Kansas City is in Missouri, which is just odd, but a lot of these suburbs also shifted significantly to the left. So we're seeing a lot of these areas shifting to the left, and as they continue to do better in a lot of these urban areas and a lot of these suburbs, it will likely continue to shift to the left. Now, the next state, I'm just going to go do it. Now, Illinois will definitely likely be a swing state in the future. It did shift to the right this election. I'm just interested in seeing if it shifted to the right from 2000. Okay, it's actually shifted to the left since 2000, which I find very odd. But then we can go look over here again at past elections. We can go look at 2008. Or was it which one? What year was it? It was some year. Okay, 2004, I guess, where John Kerry won it by 10.3%. But it was a not competitive state, but it was. I mean, like it flipped in 1992, which is obviously because these were just wave years. But I mean, like it wasn't like it's been solid blue, but it's been on the line between solid blue and likely. It was only 2% away from likely. However, Chicago is losing population. It's getting smaller and smaller. I don't know if we can actually see. Yeah, okay, we can see the difference in years. We can go look at the vote count as we go back through time. What goes from 26 votes to 24 to 22 to 21 to 20 down to over here 19. Chicago is drastically losing population. And I mean, like we can go look at a map of Illinois. Chicago is like the only blue area in the state. Like other urban areas, other cities, Rockford and or I guess Winnebago County, barely blue. Springfield, red. Peoria County, I don't know how it's pronounced. Sorry if you live there or if you live in Illinois and you're just annoyed by how I pronounce things. Also not 100% safe. So it's not like, and I mean, some of these blue counties, obviously like blue counties, but still Chicago makes up such a large percentage of the population. It'll probably, I mean, like it won't be devastating to Democrats because by the time that this actually occurs, it's not just like it's a lot of this is because voters are leaving the state and these voters are going elsewhere and helping Democrats in other areas that will be swing states in the future. But they will likely lose it, but they won't likely lose many electoral votes because by that time we won't have many electoral votes. Like for it to become a swing state, most of its electoral votes would have to be gone. Or I mean Chicago probably has a big enough population to have like a lot of electoral votes. But regardless, I'll just go label these next two together. Louisiana and Mississippi. Louisiana's probably going to be still to the right of Mississippi. But these two states have very, very large black populations. I'll actually go get a map up real quick. Okay, so here we are. I have this map up. States with like the largest black populations. We can go look at a lot of these states. Or like the states with 30 plus percent. So essentially 1/3 or more. Louisiana, Georgia, Mississippi, Maryland, and then the District of Columbia. You notice something if we go look at these areas. Georgia voted for Joe Biden and is shifting drastically to the left. Maryland voted for Joe Biden by one of the largest margins in the U.S. It might have actually been the largest margin. It was like 30 or 33.2%. Sorry, I can't do math. D.C., for whatever reason doesn't want to show me D.C., but voted for Biden by, I can actually just go get it over here. Um, nope, that's the wrong tab. That's also the wrong tab. Oh, over here. Um, DC voted for Biden by 86.8%. Not 86.8% of the vote. 88 or 86.8% margin of victory. 92.15% of the vote was for Biden. So an insanely large margin of victory. But these two states are the only states with a black population larger than that. Yet they're red states. Now, Stacey Abrams has, as we know, essentially been. I would essentially credit her with flipping Georgia. She is now working on Mississippi, and I think that Louisiana or Alabama or South Carolina, or maybe North Carolina, will follow. So I mean, like she's working in these areas, and I think that these states they're different from Georgia, but they have a lot of similar potential, which is a very very good sign for the Democrats there. Black voters, as we know, vote heavily for the Democratic Party. Probably the largest. Oh, I'm sorry, I just burped. Probably like the largest voting bloc of any. Probably like the group that votes for one party the most out of any group. I mean, like white voters maybe, but they're more competitive than these other groups. They're actually one of the more competitive groups, which I find interesting. But they make up such a large population. Part of the population doesn't really matter. But also a lot of white voters in the South are very very conservative. Like white voters in the South vote more for the right than most other white voters in other states. But anyways, looking at this, I do think that they will likely become swing states in the future. Next state, where is it? South Carolina. I don't know. I was thinking for a second, like, which state is it? South Carolina, like, we all know what's going to happen. We can go look at, once again, the wrong map. We can go look at past elections. I'll just do that, whatever. Okay, there we are. We can go look at this. South Carolina has shifted by 4.3% to the left, which I mean, like, is a smaller margin than the rest of the nation, but it's still a shift to the left. We can go look at since 2004, 5.4% to the left. I mean, like, North Carolina shifted by a larger margin, but it's still a pretty large margin, like 5.4%. 16 years is not a lot, but it has been shifting. We go look over here. It did shift to the right since 2008. That was expected. Same since 2012, because Barack Obama is such a strong candidate. But then in the last 4 years, it's been shifting 2.6% to the left. So not an insanely large shift. However, it also has where's the right map? I can't find the right map. It also has one of the largest black populations of any state in the nation. I mean, like, we can go exit out of this map and we can go find it. It's has the seventh largest. I mean, like, that's very big. It's not the same as Georgia's, but it's comparable to Georgia's. And I mean, like, it's gonna likely be a swing state in the future because, like I said, it hasn't shifted to the left, and black voters do make up a fairly large percentage of the population. And I just wanted to see this. We go look at this. It actually has grown in population since the last census. It did grow. It's not going to be growing this year, but I do think that it will likely grow, and that it will likely the black population will likely grow. And as it becomes one of the larger voting blocks for the Democrats, it'll help them. We also have to remember the suburbs there are still very red. I discussed this in a video where I did a Nikki Haley versus Kamala Harris prediction, and I discussed Nikki Haley's suburban appeal, and she did worse than Trump, which is obviously a bad thing, 2 years before him, and then she did like 5% better than him after 6 years, so not very well, but she still won them by like 18% or something. She won them by very, very large margins. Trump won them by like 11%. And that was like after like a big shift. So the suburbs are still very red there, and they'll likely continue to shift. And then I mean, like, this next one, I don't fully get all of it, but a lot of people do believe that the Northeast will become a swing region. I mean, like, they think Delaware, maybe New Jersey, Connecticut, and Rhode Island will. I mean, like, Delaware, it's kind of hard to determine because it has like 3 counties. Wilmington, so I'm just going off of other people's logics. I'm not 100% a pro on the shift to the right up in the Northeast. But Wilmington is supposedly shrinking in population. And apparently these rural areas are going to grow. I mean, like, Biden did better there, but it was also his home state. I'm going to go take a look at 2016 and see how Delaware's. Yeah, Hillary Clinton lost Kent County, which I just found odd. But I mean, these counties did shift to the right. Um, these are very weird shift things. Whatever. And then we can go look at Connecticut. Clinton won it by a likely margin. She won it by, like 13.7%. She lost only 2 counties. But I mean, once again, not many counties in the state. Biden, how many counties did he win? Yeah, he also lost those 2. Um, and obviously the entire state shifted to the left. But a lot of these voters, I don't entirely understand the logic behind Connecticut. I would assume that like the white uneducated population is shrinking, or that the rural areas are overtaking the urban areas. I don't know. I've also heard the same thing in Rhode Island. Apparently, the rural areas are overtaking the urban areas. Once again, not a pro on this. I don't know a whole load. I mean, that Kent County Kent County here was also red, but these counties all shifted to the right. So I'm gonna try to understand this, and I would assume that what generally is accepted as what's gonna happen is what's gonna happen. It obviously could not. There's obviously a possibility that it couldn't, but I do think that it. I just think, since I'm not a pro on this, I'm not gonna take my own opinion over people who know more about the northeastern shift to the left or to the right. And I will hopefully try to learn more about it. I don't 100% understand it once again. But that is essentially what I think will happen. So yeah, actually, one more state I forgot. I was about to end the video. I completely forgot. Alaska. 10% for Trump. It's going to continue to shift, especially as more and more minority voters turn out. So yeah, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video tomorrow. Never certain what to film, so please, if you have any suggestions, please comment them down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.